What is up, everybody, and welcome to Everything's Plastic. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Bandai anime heroes, and this is Minato Namikaze from Naruto Shippuden. These are pretty cool figures. My son is a huge Naruto fan. Let's get a look at the side of the packaging. The packaging on these are pretty much the same for each and every figure. We just have Naruto Shippuden on the bottom here, anime heroes on the top. Not sure what this says. And we have a picture of Minato on the bottom here and Naruto Shippuden on the bottom. So on the back here we have all the other figures in the wave. Other than that, guys, not much else to say about packaging. We'll be right back with Minato Namikaze outside of the package to get a closer look. Alright, everybody, we are back and we have Minato Namikaze outside of the package. So let's start off with accessories. So obviously he comes with this kunai. We see a little bit of writing on the side. There is two different colors, so we have a gray color and we have almost like a greenish gray type color. Hopefully my camera will pick up on that. He does come with two of these, I'm going to call it jutsu hands, fingers, whatever you want to call it. But either way, two extra hands here. We have another gripping hand for the other side. And we have one gripping hand here. And we have this other open palm or kind of clawing hand, which we have on this side as well. And oddly enough, for some weird reason, this clawing hand is massive. It's not proportionate to the body whatsoever. I mean, look at the size of this hand compared to the size of that hand. Just to give you guys a idea of what I'm saying here. Yeah, look at the overall size of it. Way too big. Not proportionate at all. And even if we compare the gripping hand, way different. It even looks weird on the figure as well, man. Massive looking hands on this one. On one side anyways. That's it for accessories. So let's get a closer look at Minato. Face on this one actually looks fantastic. His hair looks cool as well. I like the overall detail. I like the expression, and I like the detail in his eyes. Everything else about this one is pretty decent. Paint application on this one is okay. It's not great. A lot of the paint application of these are a little bit messy. Obviously not as good as your SH figure arts, but Bandai does do a pretty good job with these. I think for the most part this one is pretty much Kakashi in under. Just a slightly different color blue, but we can see that the suit and all that stuff is pretty much the same. The arms are different, and obviously the outside robe or jacket or trench coat or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it robe. Correct me in the comments below. But yeah, the sandals and all that stuff are the same. Yeah, the only difference is being a different head, arms, and his outside robe here, which I gotta admit, guys, this one looks fantastic. I'm loving the writing on the back and the flames and all that stuff. Overall, I think this one does look pretty great. We covered the overall appearance of this one, so let's get down to articulation. So for his head, it goes back this far, forward this far. There is a bit of movement in the neck. You do get a full rotation all the way around. For his shoulders, goes up this far, all the way around. There's a rotation at the base, and there's a drop down there at the shoulder as well. Do have a bicep swivel, double jointed pin elbows, which you get an awesome range of motion out of that. And for his wrist, we have these ratchet joints here that goes up this far, down this far, and you get full rotation there, and there's a rotation at the base as well. No ab crunch or anything like that. There is a ball joint here, but this is a very hard, stiff plastic, so you get very limited range of motion out of that. So very little movement, if any, from his upper body. For his legs, though, his legs come out this far. So pretty restricted as well. It does come forward this far, back this far, so restricted all the way around. You can get a full rotation, but I usually warn everybody to watch the plastic on this. You can spin it all the way around, but you will chew up your plastic a little bit. And even though this is a harder plastic, it still chews pretty easily, which is kind of weird. When we get down to his knees, you get double jointed knees, which you get awesome range of motion out of that. Not overly restricted at all. Just a really nice, smooth joint. And for his ankles, the ankles on these are pretty loose, which is a disappointment. So it's definitely going to make this one a little bit harder to stand. We have these ratchet joints, which we're so used to seeing on these anime heroes. So that goes back this far, forward this far, and you get a full rotation as well. You can maneuver these ratchet joints, so get any kind of articulation, any kind of direction, range of motion that you want to get out of these. So overall, very limited articulation, but we're used to that with these anime heroes. These are pretty cool, but at the same time, we're pretty limited to action figures when it comes to these Naruto figures. I know we do have our SH Figure Arts, but for my son, which is 9 years old, I'm not going out and spending $100 on some SH Figure Arts. I mean, these are quite fine for what he wants them for. I mean, obviously he's a kid, he wants to play with these toys, but for an adult collector, if you're thinking about buying these and doing some figure photography, you might have some issues if you're just gonna buy them and put them on your shelf. They're not bad for the price point, but at the same time, compared to Marvel Legends and your G.I. Joes and all that stuff, you get much better articulation out of a Marvel Legend. That being said though, still a very cool looking figure. My son is very excited to have Minato in figure form. Alright everybody, just to do a few quick comparison to some of the other figures from this wave. Here we have him next to Kakashi, Sasuke, and Naruto over on the side here. We can see that Minato is pretty much on par, almost the same size as all these other ones. Kakashi with his high spiked hair is just a tad bit taller. Not a big lot, but overall these are pretty much all the same size. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up our unboxing and figure review. So overall, I'm going to give this guy a 7.5 out of 10. I love the overall appearance of this one. It is pretty much a repaint like I previously mentioned. The only difference is, or the only thing new is his robe, his arms, and the head. Everything else is basically the Kakashi figure, from what I can tell anyways. But yeah, the overall appearance of this one looks great. Articulation is limited. We do have tons of accessories though. I love all the extra hands. Kunai is pretty cool as well. Paint application is decent on this, not great, but pretty decent. So I think my score of 7.5 is a pretty fair score. As always, let me know in the comments below what you think of our score of 7.5. Let us know what you think of this review, and let us know what you think of these anime hero figures. As always, if you liked the review, don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you're there. As always, my friends, we hope you enjoyed this review, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep collecting, stay safe, go buy some toys.